video, I'm going to show you how to make a scrunchie. Here's what you'll need. Some fabric of your choice, some elastic, you can also use a hair bobbin for this, and then the basic sewing items, some scissors, a needle and thread. First I'm going to take my thread and cut off a decent amount. Now I'm going to thread my needle and do it double so it looks like this. Next I'm going to take a piece of fabric about 20 centimeters going up and then 4 centimeters across. Then you can fold it in half so you won't be able to see the stitches when we sew it in a minute. Now using whatever stitch you like, you can just sew it all the way up. And go ahead and inside it out. Once you've done that, you can take a piece of elastic about the size of your wrist and start threading it up the fabric. Once you've threaded it all the way up, it should look like this, and you can just tie 1 or 2 knots to keep it secure. Then once you've done that, you can sew the opening shut and there you go.
Yes, you can use a hair tie to make a scrunchie, and this is how you do it. Cut out a 5 by 18 inch piece of fabric, and with the good side facing up, you're going to put the hair tie in the top right corner and pull it to the left. Again, you're going to put the hair tie in the top right corner and then pull it to the left, just like I did right here. Then with the 2 sides of fabric touching, you're going to start the stitch. It really helps to use your fingers to pinch the fabric together while you stitch along the side. Then once you've sewn around the whole scrunchie, you're going to use your fingers to fold it right side out. Then you take these raw ends and fold them in a little bit so you get some nice edges. Match up the pattern, pinch it together, and then you can start stitching around the sides. This part takes a little getting used to, but it gets easier as you go on. And boom, a final scrunchie. If you guys enjoyed this video, follow for more upcycled fashion.
Illusion.
Hi everyone! My most requested video is on how to make a scrunchie, so that's what we'll be doing today. First, you're going to cut your material 3 inches wide, 18-ish inches long. You're going to pin the fabric side together, and this kind of marks where we're going to be sewing. So start sewing about 1 inch down from the fabric, and then you're going to want to stop sewing about 1 inch where the fabric ends, kind of where I marked with my pin. This is because we're going to be sewing the sides together. Once we flip the scrunchie inside out, which I'm doing right now with a safety pin, just turning it inside out, right side out. So we can move on to the next step of sewing the sides together. Once the edges are done, tuck them in because they look ugly. No one's going to see them after this. Then you're going to need to cut a piece of elastic and string it through with a safety pin, and then you're going to tie it. Tuck the knot back in and sew the seam shut, and you're done.
Hi TikTok, I'm starting a small business on silk scrunchies. This one is dual colored and 100% silk, which is super good for your hair. Here's a video of me sewing with tons of different angles, and here's the final product. They're also bigger than the average scrunchie and different from all the scrunchies I've seen. Please support.
Take a look at my mouth, every time. Just a piece of paradise, I'm gonna for my whole life. You make my life divine, just by being mine. You make my life divine, just by being mine. I don't need my dreams to come true. They do. I just want to dream them next to you. Take me far away. Can you take me far away? Hold me like the sky holds the moon. Take a look at my mouth, every time. Just a piece of paradise.
မင်္ဂလာပါဒီနေ့ကတော့အိမ်မှာနေပြင်းနေရတဲ့
scrunchies ကြိုရိုလေးပါပထမဆုံး fabric လေးလိုမယ်ပြီးမြော့ကြိုပြီးလို့ရှိရင်အနဲ့အချီပြီးတော့ paper clip လိုပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့အလျာ22အနံလေးလောက်မှပိတ်စာလေးတစ်ခုကိုခောက်ပြီးတော့ပြောင်းပြန်ခောက်ပြီးတော့ချုပ်ပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့အဲ့ဒါကိုပြောင်းပြန်ပြန်လာပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့ paper clip လေးကိုပြထားတဲ့အတိုင်းလေးပဲလုပ်ပါမယ်အဲ့လိုလုပ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်မြော့ကြိုလေးနဲ့ချိန်ပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်ပိတ်စာရဲ့အနာကိုပြောင်းပြန်လေးနဲ့လမ်းပြီးတော့ကျန်တဲ့မြော့ကြိုတစ်ဖက်နဲ့ချုပ်ပါမယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့ paper clip လေးကိုအထက်ထိုးသွင်းပြီးတော့ဒီဥစ္စာကိုအပေါ်ကိုတက်လာအောင်လုပ်မှာပါပြီးလို့ရှိရင်တော့အစွန်းနှစ်ဖက်ကိုအနဲ့ချုပ်သွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အခုဆိုအိမ်မှာ scrunchies လေးလုပ်လို့ရပါပြီ
Who else loves scrunchies? I mean, I sure do. So let me show you how to make your scrunchies at home and no sewing skills required. All you'll need is an old shirt, a pair of scissors, hair elastic, one of these, and a round object. Cut off a bottom section of your old shirt, remove the hem, cut the first section in two, glue those two ends together, wrap it around your round object, throw your elastic band over it, fold up your fabric and glue the edges together to secure the scrunchie and hide the seams. Once you've done that the whole way around, remove the scrunchie, and you've got yourself a brand new scrunchie. Who wants to make some more?
The first step is to cut your fabric into a long rectangle. I then ironed because it was really wrinkly. I cut a mesh piece about the same size, folded that in half with the mesh on the inside. I just sewed a straight line, skipping about 1.5 inches in the middle. I cut off the excess fabric and the ends. I used a safety pin so I can kind of maneuver and wiggle one side of the fabric to the other side so both ends are on one side, and then I kind of just sewed the two ends together like that. Then it should look like this. There's a little opening from when we skipped that part in sewing. Just pull out the fabric and it's no longer inside out. After that, I picked out a few sequins and beads to put into my scrunchie. I put them in between the white fabric and the mesh, then wiggled them around, cut out 6 inches of elastic, and then laced it through using a safety pin. I sewed those two ends together, and then I sewed the opening of the scrunchie with a ladder stitch. And then all done, looks like this. I've made so many.